This is Mia. We found her hiding in the bushes in the freezing cold weather. So we took her with us and brought her home. Firstly, we showered her. We were really gentle. After that, we visited the vet. He gave us anti-parasitic pills. We quickly returned home and spent the evening playing around.
Peace is happening around our world.
Peace News, number 14 of many and counting.
There are many countries promoting peace and fostering amity among peoples and governments. Etc.
August 2022. Japan's Prime Minister pledges not to engage in military conflict in the future, declaring, "We will never again repeat the horrors of war." By creating peace, we all can make a loving, serene, and prosperous world.
Our programs offer many languages.
And then helping clients to harness the benefits of a nutrient and fiber-rich diet. I believe that a plant-based diet is the elixir of life on all levels. NHዔC 10, vegan.
When I opened the truck, he didn't see me. He was crying, and his tears stamped on his face. It broke my heart. As I greeted him, he immediately looked at me and stopped crying. He was still a bit scared, but I knew he would grow to trust me. I heard about this boy who had by miracle escaped death. He was supposed to be used for meat, but he broke through the wall and just ran. I was completely moved by his bravery. Once he was at the sanctuary, I would go to the fields to talk to him, to sing to him.
When vacationing in the bailiwick of Guernsey, in the Channel Islands, the friendly locals may ask, "Comme chi quelle va?" That's "How are you?" in Guernsey, one of the bailiwick's official languages. Loving viewers, I am Freya. The faithful residents of Guernsey send you warmest regards. Welcome to Royal Botanic Gardens of Kew for the beauty and well-being of life. Situated beside the Thames River in southwest London, UK, bordering one of the most populous and active urban areas on Earth, is the much-cherished natural sanctuary, the Royal Botanic Gardens of Kew. Kew Gardens is a research facility as well as a beautiful place of artistry dedicated to the preservation and celebration of the wondrous botanic diversity that thrives upon our blue-green planet. The world-famous Kew Gardens has centuries of history, not just as the standard bearer of classic English landscaping, but also for the origins of several scientific disciplines, such as plant classification and horticulture. Renowned as a first-class scientific institution, particularly in the fields of botany and ecology, the Royal Botanic Gardens of Kew has one of the largest and most comprehensive databases of botanical information found anywhere in the world. Designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2003, the Royal Botanic Gardens of Kew, alongside their extensive collections of botany, boast over 40 listed historical buildings, as well as many other famous architectural features, such as the Great Pagoda and the Victorian-era Temperate House. Altogether, Kew Gardens is an unreserved specimen of British cultural heritage and welcomes an estimated 2.5 million visitors annually. In 2022, the Royal Botanic Gardens of Kew officially entered the Guinness Book of World Records for the largest collection of living plants at a single-site botanic garden, with an excess of 50,000 plants from some 16,900 separate species, sourced from all around the world. "523 years ago, Kew Park was an estate adjacent to the then royal residence of Richmond Palace. It had belonged to the noble papal family since the reign of His Majesty King Henry VII. The Right Honourable Lord Henry Capel had thoughtfully arranged exotic plants around his mansion in the early 17th century. When the royal family acquired the property, His Majesty King George III's mother, Her Royal Highness Princess Augusta of Saxe-Gotha, a serious plant collector, was subsequently inspired between 1752 and 1759 to expand it into a botanical garden of exotic plants. The estates formally emerged as Kew Gardens in 1772. Architect and seasoned traveller Sir William Chambers completed the 50-metre-tall Great Pagoda in 1762. With 9 levels, 253 steps, and 80 intricately carved wooden dragons, it is the first of many internationally inspired architectural monuments within Kew Gardens. Legendary botanist Sir Joseph Banks was a frequent visitor to the royal estate and consequently arranged for specimens of some of the world's rarest plants to be shipped to Kew Gardens from South Africa, India, Ethiopia, China, Australia and Canada, quickly establishing the Kew Gardens as the world vanguard of natural science. This botanical collection and classification regime has continued to the present day. The Royal Kew Gardens Herbarium presently contains over 7 million vascular plant specimens, which are currently being digitized. Rare specimens include the Mauritius native Nesocodon mauritianus, which requires a controlled, frost-free environment. This temperate climate has been provided since 1863 by the largest surviving Victorian-era greenhouse in the world, the recently restored Temperate House. Also calling the gardens home is the 40-metre-tall giant redwood, native to California, USA. The tree is the largest living being in Kew Gardens and can be found in the Arboretum. Water Lily House is a square glass house crafted to spotlight the majestic Amazon water lily. Initially found in Bolivia in 1801, these impressive water lilies were named Victoria in tribute to Her Imperial Majesty Queen Victoria. In 2022, scientists unearthed a new species featuring lily pads reaching 3 meters in width.
The most powerful daily prayer for any time and before meditation, which is the order from God, and Supreme Master CHINGHAI shares with us by His blessed grace.
We humbly worship, praise, thank, obey and love God Almighty, the Most High, the greatest, for world vegan, world peace, and our soul liberation. We thank, love, praise the only Son of God, who is the ultimate Master, for our salvation. We follow the teaching of all the saints and sages. We thank, love and praise them, who are the representatives of God for our spiritual elevation.
The Arboretum is a landscape forested wonderland covering approximately 2/3 of Kew Gardens, 1.29 square kilometres or 320 acres. It has approximately 14,000 trees, around 2,000 individual species, including many rare varieties. The oldest specimens are a Japanese pagoda tree, Lockham oak, and black locust tree that dates back to the 18th century. The Arboretum nursery is where many trees are carefully fostered from seed to soil bed in a highly controlled environment, utilizing the latest available technology to propagate and nurture plants without the risk of disease. The great pagoda builder Sir William Chambers also completed the more practical 280 square metre orangery to nurture the fruit that was still relatively new to England at the time. Although no longer used for horticulture, the orangery remains as a cafe and a lovely example of the Kew Gardens' mid-18th century architecture.
Vegan for world peace, love it.
Eco-conscious viewers, a vegan picnic amongst the trees of the Arboretum would be nice right now. We'll be right back here on Supreme Master Television.
Flying with this vulture is very cool. It's a very huge freedom sensation, like feeling like, you're connecting with a bird on the sky. I guess he recognized my wing because of a red wing, and not many people fly with that. So when I start to put my wing down, he can see from far away, and then he will approach. And there was another day that he wasn't there, and I started flying by myself, and like in 2 minutes, he came from nowhere and joined me.
Welcome back to Royal Botanic Gardens of Kew for the beauty and well-being of life. Dedicated to Her Royal Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, the 5,000 square metre Queen's Garden was opened to the public in 1969. Drawing upon a variety of 17th century era garden plans, the central geometric layout is of French influence. Between the manicured hedge boxes is a copy of the Florentine sculptor Verrocchio's Boy with a Dolphin water feature. The iron gazebo found at the eastern end of the Queen's Garden is decorated with intricate depictions of the national plants of England, Scotland, Wales and Ireland. The Queen's Garden has a sunken garden dedicated to the propagation of medicinal plants historically grown in the United Kingdom. It was the Royal Botanic Gardens of Kew's first director, Sir William Jackson Hooker, who expanded it from just 0.044 square kilometres or 11 acres to 2.63 square kilometres, some 650 acres, between 1841 and 1846. Sir William worked with artist-designer William Andrews Nesfield to produce some of the most impressive features of the sanctuary, including the original focal point of the gardens, the Palm House, and the Great Broad Walk Borders. The Great Broad Walk Borders was originally designed as a grand promenade leading to the Palm House, and is still considered one of the longest herbaceous borders in the world. At 320 metres in length, 8 circular beds display a delightful collection of flowers and feather-like grasses, such as the golden yellow-black-eyed Susan, Geranium Orion, Salvias lilies, and spars of woolly mullein and Turkish sage. The plants inspire different moods with the passing of each season. The palm house was built specifically to create an environment where tropical plants would thrive. It's no accident that the palm house of Kew Gardens also resembles the upturned hull of a ship, as its required structural size saw the borrowing of technology from the burgeoning Victorian maritime industry. There are several other notable features which celebrate a speciality or culture, such as the Bamboo Garden and Minka House, the Aegis Evolution Garden, and Kew's Kitchen Garden. Plant life, a key component in the planet's survival, is recognized in the Garden's corporate strategy for the decade 2020 to 2030, which states the mission of the Royal Botanic Gardens, Kew, is to understand and protect plants and fungi for the well-being of people and the future of all life on Earth. In the summer of 2022, the Gardens, in conjunction with a group of internationally diverse artists, hosted the Food Forever event, a thought-provoking journey exploring the impact which our day-to-day eating habits have on the world around us. Visitors were led on a journey of discovery to fight climate change, nurture biodiversity, and ensure the future of our planet by adopting a plant-based diet. Participants were empowered by the Food Forever program to make positive changes to their day-to-day lives and learn about the manifold health benefits of a vegan diet. The Kew Gardens bookshop website states,
"If changing how we eat can help our beautiful, precious planet, then surely we need to embrace that. These are challenging times for the Earth, and we humans need to unite to look after it."
Leading scientists from the Royal Botanic Gardens of Kew are also engaged in an international partnership which they describe as a global insurance policy named the Millennium Seed Bank. The seed bank will store over 2.4 billion seeds collected globally, curated to international gene bank standards. The seeds are kept in a specially constructed underground sub-zero storage facility that maintains a temperature of minus 20 degrees Celsius and is also flood, bomb and radiation proof. The Millennium Seed Bank also contains a germination laboratory.